All right, 5 o'clock, we'll call this meeting of the Paintsville Utilities Commissioner. We'll do roll call. Mitch?
Here.
LB?
Present.
Chris?
Here.
Tim? Here. Yep, 4. Move on to agenda 2, review and approval of the minutes.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes of February 4, 2019.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. 3, review and approval of operating report.
Make a motion that we approve the operating report.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the operating report. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Agenda item number 4, consideration of construction pay requests.
We'll look at Janet Bakerfield this evening.
Okay. We've got 5 invoices for payment approval. Invoice 190137 from Bell Engineering in the amount of $4,000 for miscellaneous water system improvements funded by Paintsville Utilities.
Make a motion to pay.
We have a motion, second, pay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Invoice 190138 from Bell Engineering in the amount of $1,030 for wastewater treatment plant flow meter replacement project funded by Paintsville Utilities.
Motion to pay.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Invoice number 17 from Aikens
Excavating.
Excavating in the amount of $130,000, $720.95 for an I-9 project from Rural Development.
Make a motion that we pay.
Motion, do we have a second? Second. Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Invoice number 18 from Thomas Environmental in the amount of $10,355 for the I-9 project contract 2 funded by Rural Development.
We have a motion,
Motion to pay.
we have a second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Invoice 19 from Bocook Engineering in the amount of $5,563.81 for the I-9 project funded by Rural Development.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thanks, Janet.
Agenda 5, approval, review and approval of monthly services, so it'll be 5A, legal services.
Make a motion to pay the Workshop Law Office of Legal Services.
We have a motion, we have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Got my attention.
5B, other operating enforcement law.
Ordinary invoices.
Make a motion that we pay the other operating invoices.
A motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Agenda item number 6, departmental reports.
You have reports from each of the departments in front of you. These guys have been quite busy the last few days, even more than usual. Anybody like to add to their reports?
I'd like to get seek approval, go ahead and getting some of the stuff at the shop cleaned up in the back area. That involves hauling a bunch of debris and stuff that's been collected from line breaks to Apple Valley.
And you have some metal items too, you need to
Got
dispose
some
of.
metal items we could scrap, use for whatever we can use it for.
And
I've got the same
or
issue.
the Paintsville sewer plant as well.
A lot of stuff needs cleaned up over there.
And they've actually coordinate that through the office, get receipts for everything.
So, have a motion by Mitch.
All right, you got anything you need to add? Maybe you can do a lot of cleaning.
Yeah. Got a lot more to go.
Matt, you good?
I'm good right now.
Okay.
Bobby's taking notes back there.
right, we'll move on to agenda item 7, old business, A, downtown I.
Do it?
All right, on contract 1, past month, we installed about 1,900, a little less than 1,900 lineal feet of the fold and form line, connected 37 services during that time. Did one point repair over on Brown Street, found a section, about 30-inch piece of the clay pipe that had collapsed, and they went in and repaired it. They found, they raised 7 manholes that had been covered up by asphalt, and raised and put the lids on them. They've investigated lines on Bill Branch and Main Street, 2nd Street, and Church Street. This past month, they've lined 58 manholes this past month, which makes this past month 465 vertical feet that's been lined, totaling a little over 1,500 vertical feet so far to the job. We have on site around 4,900 lineal feet of 8-inch to still be placed in, and about a little over 1,000 feet, almost 1,100 feet of 12-inch, and that'll complete the what we would have money for right now to line. They have about 25 manholes to line, and to what we had identified before. Now, there is some lines out there there is some manholes that we have lined that's not in our budget on the numbers that I gave you, so we have to decide whether to do those or not. We've got 7 castings and bolt downs to put on the outfall line. When the weather gets a little bit better, they'll finish it. They're still looking at Triple Crown, and Island Creek. They've actually got some stuff. We've got lines finished over on Preston and Stafford off of Euclid. They got that finished this past month. Contract 2, there wasn't a lot done on it. There wasn't anything done on the over last month on the railroad board. They did, I think, start this month on the river directional bore on the other side, and they worked 2 days on it, and then went on the plant side and was looking for the force main, and then that's all that's been done on it. So it's kind of, that stands. Of course, it's all the equipment, except for water too.
Yeah, have we heard anything from them in terms of where they are as a result of the flooding?
No, we've actually called Kirby and tried to get some idea. Haven't got a return call yet. So.
We gave them additional time last meeting, didn't we?
We did.
How much?
They have till April
Same.
6th or 9th.
Yeah, it's right the first week or 2 of April. It matched the, originally contract 2 theoretically would have been finished last September, October. And then it was postponed until January. And now it matches contract 1's time frame.
Think they'll be finished?
No. They could, I think, but
So depending on how the riverbank dries out.
yeah. I really, that would be my guess, because we're talking about a month, basically. Don't think they'll get to.
Have they already outcropped it on this side?
No.
I thought we were already outcropped.
It's sticking out of the ground by the pump station.
Yeah.
Well, they had that bore, they did part of it.
They bored the creek.
They got from the Depot Road pump station to the railroad. And that's in, but they have to go through the railroad and then under the river.
And that's what they're not done.
That's
That's,
what it
they made 2 attempts on getting under the railroad, and the second attempt got stuck. And the directional bore under the river was started on the other side, and they worked a couple of days and decided to come on the plant side and look for the force main so they wouldn't hit it. And it's been a standstill since.
That was done sometime back, but about 3 weeks ago or so?
Yeah, it was right after the last report, which was about a month ago. Any questions?
So we completed most manholes in town then, yeah?
What we had identified originally, like I said, from the investigation, there was actually about 20 or 20, from the original, there's another 25 to finish what we originally covered. And with the additional lines that we've added on, there's about another 20 that we could do. So we'll have to decide whether to do those. It'd be nice to, because you got the lines rehabbed right up to the manhole, and it's about $120 a vertical foot to line them.
We have a request related to that, primarily as a result of the change orders we executed on contract 2 earlier. We are going to have a cost overrun on the project and need to ask for additional local funds to be committed. The projected shortfall is $111,592.09. That's going to have some variance based on exactly how things go. It may not be quite that much. So we're asking for that, and we've also been looking possibility some additional investigation along the creek bank, along the outfall. We feel like we may still have issues there. We've been in contact with Akins, and actually just saw some information a few minutes ago, the response. We would like to do some additional investigation to try to better alleviate some of these I&I problems.
Will this include the 20 or so extra, or does not include?
The manholes,
It would be, 20 new would be over and above.
Of what we're asking for?
Right. The cost overrun was primarily, well, it was so far on contract 2. It's been approved as well.
so the 20 additional manholes don't fit within contract 1?
We've got 20 or 25 to finish. That is in contract 1.
But they fit within the funding for contract?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's another, if you want to do another 20.
So identify more that
Yeah.
are not within there?
Right.
Okay.
So that would be above
It would be,
Yes.
okay.
the one.
Was this speaking of contract 2 solely, or is this the whole project?
That's the whole project. But it sounds like we may need to bump that.
What's your projection in terms of Akins for doing the investigation?
You have any kind of a total number?
No.
I know they gave him a couple different numbers. You go ahead and share that.
We actually just got that back about 3 o'clock, 3:30. They're charging for, let's see, $2.60 a lineal foot for what they call light cleaning and cammering. And then heavy cleaning is $300 an hour. That's where they have done some of this actually under this project and really never got paid for it. But where they sat basically and cleaned all day, cleaning the line out. Actually 2 days, I remember one, they worked 2 days on it to clean it out. But I guess what we'd have to do is really decide,
Figure our scope.
figure your scope up, and then what we could do is figure the lineal footage that would be involved in that, and then come up with a number.
And the question would be too, is that investigation include investigation of the manholes, or
That's
just
right.
the lines?
Yeah, I would think that it would. We could, I'm sure the manholes would be in the manholes themselves, cleaning them, so it would cover that. That would be probably no extra cost for it. We'd probably have an inspector there anyway, so we could document the condition of the manhole, so that wouldn't be an extra cost.
Well, what was the total cost for contractor 1 and 2?
You got the total numbers right here.
I don't have the total number.
What's just a ballpark?
The total is $7 million.
4.7, I think, 4.6 or something like for contract 1, and the rest was contract 2.
We really missed it by 111,000. Kind of like it's going to be closer to 150, all said and done.
Maybe 2.
Well, there's so much left out there. I mean, you could keep on going, and we talked about that, but it'd be better, I think, to get an idea of the scope of your job, so you could pinpoint where your problems are, and then decide how much you want to spend.
Okay, good.
And my real concern is that outfall along the creek.
Today, though, you need authorization from us for the 111,592.
Sounds like we may need more if we're going to do those other manholes.
If you're going to do the manholes,
And if you got a rough estimate of what that would be?
well, I don't think they're all 10 feet. If you did 10 feet and they're $120 a foot.
How much?
About 1,000 a hole,
Yeah. How many to do? 27?
20, 25.
so 20, say 30,000 more dollars.
If we put it to 150, that covers, I believe.
That would cover the manholes.
And then try to get a proposal on the rest of it for investigation. Very important.
Just need a motion from us then to increase the what?
Local share.
Local share. Can I make a motion that we increase our local share to contract 1 and 2 in the amount of $150,000?
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
And to Mitch's point about being on the scope of this project, to be that close, and considering the direction this thing took, and where the footprint changed, and the methodology, that's really,
They're all bang for our buck.
oh, wow.
I guess before we get off this subject, I'd ask too that we go ahead and direct our council to send a letter to our contractors in respect to the board, and outline to them that they're just 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away from the end of their contract, and we expect total compliance, and if they fail to it, then we're going to be looking for them for liquidated damages. Go ahead and put them on notice. We've given them 2 extensions. To me, that's kind of, I mean, we've been more than fair. And, you know, obviously we need to get everything wrapped up if we can. Because at some point in time, I think we need to move on to phase 3. And we need to have 1 and 2 completed before we do that.
It is going to have to be a motion.
I think that was just good. Let me ask you this, is this so specialized that if we do have a problem with the contractor and their sub, that it's something that we can readily get someone else in there to finish the job?
On contract 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to get, there's,
Enough people out there?
Yeah.
He can drill and but there's other people there.
Okay.
And the contractor will step up. He'll-
Yeah, he's already, Thomas, environmental.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows the issue and he's gonna act on it, so,
I think we got Thomas alone, and then we got a sub and then a sub.
yes.
So it's the second sub that's the issue.
With the sub issue, we're not sure.
Yeah, but, I don't know what the deal is between the contractor, between the sub and the sub-sub.
I mean, maybe it's time for us to even have a meeting with them. And, you know, explore, like maybe Dave can have a meeting with them and actually explore the possibility, look, if they're not gonna finish it, let's go ahead and, I guess we'd have to, would we have to rebid, or we just have to do it by change order?
Well, you're pretty sure we can cover, I think we could, there's a provision, I checked the contract, but I'm pretty sure there's a provision in there that if they don't appear they're gonna finish, we can,
Bring somebody else in?
yeah, don't quote me on that, but I think there is. I have to go back and double check.
To me, we're at the point we need to go ahead and start looking in that direction.
Anything else in your old business? 8, new business, 8B first.
In your packet, under 8B, you'll have the proposed job description for operations manager, as well as the revised organizational chart. And you'll approve both of those, please.
Need to skip something on that. Organization chart. Okay, this is the one, because it's, you got two of the same things going on top of it. On the wastewater treatment plant superintendent, and you got wastewater treatment plant superintendent, and then.
Oh, yeah, second.
Supervisor.
Supervisor on the
Yeah,
second.
this is right, that's right. This is right.
So, should assistant general manager not be above those others?
That's your,
This one right, because I noticed on the front page,
We don't have one.
yeah, it's basically, it says, operation manager, everybody, supervisor is the general manager or the assistant general manager. So I'm just saying, should that assistant general manager not sit right here even though it's vacant?
You mean take it above this, that first split?
Yes.
It hadn't been before.
And the reason I said that is you named it over here. To say that it's-
Obviously, he doesn't have any responsibility over this.
but he. Now, we don't have that, so this should be here. This should be in the
That's why I
But
think
if
it's here.
you move this one up, then that, because this will be the next, this will be that spot.
Even though this one's vacant, you just have it sitting here, it's vacant, but this one.
This one might move right into that
Yes.
spot.
Wouldn't this be entitled though, the operations manager? Would we need that person? Oh, his supervisor.
That's the supervisor.
And this guy should be this guy.
Yeah. But we need to have a spot,
If you ever fill it.
if you ever feel it. What was you saying, Tim?
No, I'm just trying to get my head on the way it's titled, so I just mislooked at it.
So what, I think what we're saying is maybe move the assistant general manager, even though we don't have it filled up, put the block up there above the line for chief, for the CFO and the engineering compliance assistant, and move up operations manager onto that line. Would that be?
It makes perfect sense. The only thing I might suggest on that, we might need to change the grade a little bit if we do that, because they're the same grade. The chief financial officer, assistant general manager, and engineer, no, just the chief financial officer and assistant general manager are the same grade.
So you mean, you say take the assistant general manager position and give it a little higher grade if you put it above the.
We need to do one way or the other, I think. But it makes perfect sense to me to do that.
Okay.
That's what I think I'll do, is move this operation manager up one step, up on top of that next line.
You move there where the assistant general manager is,
Yeah.
they'll fill that block.
And move operations manager at the level,
Above this.
Yeah.
like one level.
Would that be consistent with what we got, grade wise? With those changes, I'll make a motion that we approve the
job description.
the job description and the, how do you want to refer to that?
Organizational chart.
Organizational chart.
Jeff, Bobby, if you comply with all this, can you do all this, job description?
I don't know, I haven't read it.
I did read it to him.
Now, Bob told me that you said you agreed that you could do all this.
And then some.
Yeah.
So we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. I'm gonna come back to 8A now. right?
Okay.
Now we'll go back to the new business, 8A, definition of department heads.
Okay. They're all here. We have done some reorganization. We have a very strong operations team in place. Our operations manager is Bobby Spears. He's been with utilities for 21 years, been serving as distribution superintendent for the last 3. And he's here to help these other guys and to work with me. So far, it's gone very well. Sitting next to him is Craig Welch. Craig is our new distribution superintendent. He has overall oversight of the water and gas distribution. Craig's been with us for a while. I show 10 years, but I think you've actually got more time on that end with us in 2 stints. He's been serving as the assistant water supervisor. He's also our electrical technician, and for the time being, so we have to fill that role because nobody else will step into it.
Distribution side. That's the truth.
Next to him is Matt Spradlin. He's our new water plant superintendent. So Matt's been with us for 14 years. Is that correct, Matt?
18.
I think you've got the same situation. You've been here twice.
Yeah.
But this current
I
one's
left
14
for
years.
about 6 weeks at one time and come back.
But currently, he's been with us for 14 years. He's class 4 water treatment operator. Been working at the plant for about 10 years.
11.
11, okay. And he's come up to speed and seems to have things under pretty good control out there. And then over here behind everybody is Mike Conley. He's been with us for 19 years, and a good portion of that time he's been the superintendent at the Honey Branch wastewater plant. He now has oversight of the entire wastewater system, involving 2 plants, 2 distinct collection systems. He's been quite busy trying to get everything coordinated. Last 10 days have been kind of a telltale thing how things are going. They've all done a very good job. I think we're in good hands. But I had a situation, I had to leave town unexpectedly, had a little emergency situation. I left town, that was right after the flood. I left town secure that things were taken care of.
Job, guys. How many hours did they put in during the flooding? Does anybody know? Anybody total it up?
43, I think, me and Spears did.
The total hours.
That's just in 3 days.
But that was just those 2 people. I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. A lot of men out there.
and, you know, for us to be back in water for everybody, basically by Tuesday evening after the flood, it was, I mean, I think it was totally unexpected. Even more what we had, just to get that done was amazing.
Yeah, we had a good crew going every direction.
Well, it's a crew that won't quit.
Most of the customers are really happy too. We had very few complaints.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Although I have to say the radio station is very complimentary of everybody. I don't know if y'all heard them, but I don't know how many times during that span that they were praising your efforts. They kind of included you on the first responders, you know, on that same level. So they're very complimentary of all the work that everybody did. So I was tickled to see that they included you all in that kind of as a first responder, which is where you should be. So, but they were, again, they just went over and over and over about how great everything was going, how hard y'all were working.
We got a lot of use out the back truck too with the street department and the county road department too. We're stopping the culverts and all the roads that were flooding over.
And, you know, we're using the back truck to unstop these culverts, which helps the city and the county, but it also protects our water lines in the event of another high water event, so it's good for everybody. And I told Bobby the other day that I would put him outside of his comfort zone at times. He's made his first appearance on WSIP, WKLW.
I heard it. Did a nice job, by the way. Both you guys did. Ironically, I sat and had the radio on when y'all came on.
And they've been replaying some of that.
Not only that though, but I put him in contact
I was
with
sitting there.
WINT.
Nice young lady. LB contacted me Sunday morning about that, and I let him know that I wasn't in a position because of the situation I had going on, so we got Bobby to do it. He didn't hesitate.
He's giving autographs now. Autographs. We're proud of you guys. Commissioners.
We think so much of it, we think they'll just have LB. Which department you want him?
I'll take him.
He does want the night shift though.
I'll take him.
I'm gonna come.
You're going to.
Real night shift, I can't take it.
Let's put him on call.
I'll just be on call and go to the water treatment plant.
Yeah.
We'll put you there.
All right, 8C, notification act.
Yes, Rick and I met with these gentlemen. And what they propose is to sell us this app for the phones, whatever. Where we can put the notices out, boil water advisories, or whatever. Just any kind of system notice we want to. And anybody that signed up for that app would get it. It's a $500 a year fee, and then a $2,500 initial setup in addition to that.
That's what, I just got a call from the school system telling them about, but I mean, we didn't sign up for nothing, and they just called through, was gonna tell you when the school's called off, school's gone, and road conditions and all that. Why would the customers have to sign up for an app when these other people are just calling you?
I'm not sure what kind of system they've got going on.
I think that you probably got your cell phone number through when you register your kids, and they just probably plug those numbers in to send it out, just like a text message.
I know, okay.
Your kid's been gone.
You got permission to get that
I bet
number
your number's on there somewhere,
as a contact.
as a contact. That's how they use it.
Well, this is no cost to the customer. Rick, you have any thoughts in addition to what I just said on that?
No, it seems like a good idea.
Is it like other apps to receive benefit, you gotta sign up for that app?
Yeah, you have to.
They didn't look like my boat, they just came on my house phone.
Yeah.
With
The
the
report
people.
would have to know to go to get this app.
Which we would
Which we would.
notify our bills and,
That was my only concern, was how the people looked at
Yeah,
that.
there'd be a lot of customers that don't have cell phones.
yeah, so those people, we would still continue to do the things we do now. We notify via the radio. Where possible, we do the phone tree. It's not always feasible. And then we do Facebook. Those same people probably aren't going to get it.
This is just another means.
It's another tool in the toolbox.
Really, for that cost, I don't think you can beat that. We're just talking about $500 a year.
2,500 set up.
$3,000 for the first year.
Three days.
Did they come to you with this, or is this something y'all?
Yes, they did. And they're active with the Kentucky Rural Water, so that's how they knew to come here.
How long has it been in business?
For a while, this is an engineering firm that's been around for a while.
So it's not somebody just started up.
The app is a fairly new thing. They've got a number of people online, but it's relatively new.
Is it gonna be just for cell phones or?
But it either be cell phones or iPads, however you.
It won't be just for a hard line?
No.
Is there anybody else that they have currently using this, that you can see how it's working for them?
We can follow up with some of them.
I'll check with the school system, because it came right over my hard line. It did. with the recording.
Ours does the same way. It'll go to your cell phone or your home
I
phone.
think the school though contacts everybody. They don't have a way of saying, okay, we wanna call.
So this is broken down to
Yeah,
the regions.
this,
No,
well,
no,
this
no,
is
this
not
would be-
broken
this would be
down,
out there
this
for
is just,
I
yeah,
know,
it'll
but
be
I
for
mean,
everybody. but-
would just reach out to like.
No,
Publication
no,
or
no, if it goes out there, it's gonna notify everybody.
Everybody.
And they would have to
Everybody
decide
that
whether it's
looks, it
effective or
would
not.
say, okay, well, this is in my area, or it doesn't affect me, so I don't pay attention to it.
But the phone tree, we do
We s-
localize,
Yeah.
but sometimes you just can't do it. It just doesn't work out. And then sometimes it's gonna move out too.
Well, that's true. You don't have a chance.
Yeah, it's been in business since 1990.
Your recommendation to go with it? Yes. I'll make the motion then that we go ahead and allow Bob to contract with CDP to secure this particular service for app notification.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, aye?
All right.
Opposed? Ayes have it. 8D, other new business.
Actually, do have a couple of items for other new business. We've been notified by our billing company that we may be having an interface problem with our credit card processing. And that goes to cybersecurity. They do have two companies that they contract with, and they have them programmed into their system to be totally secure. Janie was able to talk to them today, and they've assured us that at worst our cost would be no higher than it is now. We don't have a good firm number yet. We'd have a kind of a short window here. They initially told us the problem would be by March 15th. They told me today the 28th. So they've been able to extend that. I guess maybe what I'm looking for is authorization to make this switch if we can verify that the cost is not going to be higher than where we are now. And Stripe was the one that they were,
Stripe.
and Bluefin was the other.
Bluefin was the other.
So I think Stripe was the one they were recommending.
So are they going to switch their system and we have to follow in kind?
Yeah, we're going to have some out-of-pocket costs. We keep having to switch. So first off, we probably have to pay them a little bit.
Yeah.
And we'll have to change our IT,
Yeah.
charge our IT person will charge us for stuff on our end. I mean, we've still kind of got this convoluted thing that's going here and here and here. It'd be a lot cleaner if we're just working everything through that same source, which is our
Yeah, the
billing.
billing software is gonna have to have some updates to follow with what Authorize.net is
Make it
trying
work.
to implement. So there'll be some charges there if we
Unless
stick
we
with
make a
who we
change.
have, yeah, unless we make these changes.
Are they the ones causing it, or
No.
they just said, look, now it's like everybody's gonna have this
It's
issue?
a change that's coming down through the well, PCI, payment card industry, and they were notified by Authorize.net, who was processing. It gets a little odd out there. You work through a bank and you have the other processing company too, but it's Authorize.net that's making the changes that they have to comply with.
Which in turn affects.
But
Kind of flow now.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion that we grant Bob the authorization to negotiate with whatever entity that is to try to do whatever we need to do to follow those recommendations.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor, aye? Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, I got one more thing. Kind of intentionally left him out when I was talking about our leaders in the operational side a few minutes ago. This gentleman sitting to my left over here beside Bo Cook, Rick Meese, been with us for 30 years. And I will tell you, he's been extremely valuable to me, especially coming into this the way I did, kind of unplanned. But he's decided he's going to call it a career at the end of this month. And we're going to miss him. We're going to celebrate with him too, because he's earned it. So, I just want to say thanks to Rick. And
Thank you, Otto.
I appreciate it. Did you have to let him know?
I don't know if we can stop him.
It's an April Fool's joke.
Just think about it, next month, we're still sitting here working.
Sure you will.
Pinky promise.
And hopefully he'll be around to pick his brain occasionally as we need to.
Anything else?
That's all I've got on new business.
Executive session,
We need to have executive session for personnel and potential litigation.
we have a motion to go into executive
No more
session.
freebies.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor, aye.
All right.
Opposed, ayes have it. We move into executive session. We have a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion carried.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, aye. Opposed, ayes have it. Thank you.
Probably about 50.
Insofar as a report for the executive session, the commission gave me guidance on how to handle one matter involving potential litigation. The commission also took several items involving personnel. The details of that will be withheld pending notification of the affected employees. Otherwise, no action was taken.
Well, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion.
Second, motion, all in favor, aye. Opposed, ayes have it.
I think it's 6.
Say we-